Okay, so let's talk about Resident Evil Raccoon City because I have a lot to say. Now, I want to preface that my knowledge is based on two video games that I've watched in the sense of like Let's Plays, in the sense of like Jacksepticeye Markiplier, and Resident Evil movies, which are not canon because Alice isn't in the games. So I feel like maybe you just heard that and you're a little bit nervous going on with this, but just wait a second. So I went into watching this movie with no expectations, but a lot of hope, because I was like, you know what? Okay, maybe the story won't be that great, but if they nail the zombies, I can get with it. And then I saw the cast, and I was like, Arrow Boy, count me in. What's his name? Luther from Umbrella Academy. Oh, Effie, Evan Jogia, Miss Marvel, not the character that she was in the Marvels. In the Marvels, she was in a Marvel movie. Her. The guy who's a sheriff that I don't remember what movie he is. He's kind of funny. I've seen him in other shows or movies. I don't remember. I was like, this is... Oh, and then the scientist. I don't remember, but he's also in like movies where he plays the bad guy. I was like, I'm interested. I want to watch this. I saw the trailer and I was like, I still have hope. Here were the moments that told me that this movie... The scene where Claire gets to Chris's apartment and there's a woman, visibly sick woman, who is painting with her blood letters on the door, and she says, "Do you need help?" That's when I knew. I was like, oh boy. Oh boy. And then when we saw Leon, and Leon is completely like Leon in the games, he's someone who's very smart, astute, very dedicated. He really wants justice. He's very like, I'm a cop, it's what I am. And this movie, he is drunk, lazy, sleeps, doesn't know anything about being a cop, and doesn't know protocol or anything. Doesn't even know how to reload a shotgun. So that was a choice. Don't know why it was made. He doesn't even like being a cop. He even says like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Why? I don't, like I said, I don't know canon Resident Evil, but I'm pretty sure the two, video games, that the remakes, Leon is not like this. Leon isn't, and even in the movies, Leon's very like, I'm a cop. I'm proud of being a cop. In this movie, he's like, I hate being a cop. My dad paid for me to be here. And then Whiskers or Wicker, I don't remember what that man's name is, but I remember he's also in the movies, but canon, he's a bad guy. He's evil. He is like he doesn't care about people. He's very ruthless. He's like, his purpose is results, right? I don't know how he was before he was evil, but in this, he has a crush on Jill Valentine. I have no idea if he was actually a cop, if he died and then they revived. I don't know. Was this just added? They were just like, let's just put Wicker, I don't remember what his name is, into this movie somehow and make him the stars. Second red flag that I was like, oh, okay, was the scene where they get to the police station and they have Jill Valentine, Chris Redfield, Whiskers, and the other guy, I don't remember what his name is, and they're in an office that looks like 1970s. It looks like a fake, it looks like a movie set. And I was like, what is this? Why does this look like this? Like, even in the video game, they did a really good job making, like, it was an old police station, but it looked like a police station. This looked like they were working 9 to 5, I was just like, what is this? And then you had the sheriff come in, and I don't know if they just let him like ad-lib, but he's just going on and dragging it, and I was like, please stop. And that was my second red flag, where I was like, this is okay. Third, when right at the beginning, when Avon, where did I get Avon? Mr. Victorious, he is at the cafe or whatever, and there's like literally there is no population in this movie. There's just the cops just no other humans. And the diner lady, literally red eye bleeding, and he's just like, what's that? And she's like, oh, I don't know, it's been happening for like weeks. He's like, shouldn't you get that checked out? And she's like, it's fine. Again, what human would be bleeding out of their eye? Not just a little bit, but like, and be like, yeah. Another red flag was the scene with the dog and the hamburger. When the dog, oh god, the dog looked so bad. The dog looked so CGI. It looked so bad. They couldn't have called. I remember the first Resident Evil like movie that came out like over 10 years ago. I remember that they said that what they were putting on the dogs were eating it, so they had to like film like quickly and reapply. Couldn't they have called them and been like, hey, what did you put on the dog to make them look, dead or infected or whatever? This dog looked ridiculous. And then when he bites the owner's hand, I've seen ketchup with darker consistency. This looks like they just put like red dye on water, and then it oh my god. And I was like, oh my god, the gore, if the gore doesn't look good, this isn't gonna be good. And it was not good. I feel like there was something of potential in this movie. Like, I was really interested in Claire and Chris, and the beginnings. Like, I was like, oh, they're gonna show us a lot about like the experimentations or what's going on. And then no, she just ran away, apparently left her brother even though she knew something was wrong, and just never. It was so many creative decisions that I am asking why they were made. Why this is done in all the movies. Why you would see someone munching on someone and not immediately shoot them? Why would you be like, sir, stand up, put your heads in this, put your hands up, and then you see them and they look visually like a monster, bleeding out of their mouth, walking towards you, and you still don't shoot? Oh god, I hate when movies just prolong it until they're like basically here. Anyways, I was just like, what is going on? When they show like the end scene, like, who is this Marvel movie? With Whiskers waking up and he was brought back to life. I don't know if this happens in canon, but it happens, and he can't see, so he puts on glasses, and then it's Ada Wong, and she looks, I think it's what they're wearing, because they all looked so, all the clothes look cheap. They just looked like, I don't know, I don't know, you know what, I don't know if it's clothes, I don't know if it's the lighting, I don't know if it's like the editing, the ambience, what it was, but it just looked low budget, and so Ada looked low budget, and I'm like, Ada's a cool character. I mean, you see her in the movies and you see her in the games, and she's badass, and they show her 2 seconds, and she's just like, I feel like if they had just copy pasted the game, it would have been so much better. Instead of making it, one, the zombies look also, I mean, I get it, because they're like, in this scene, they're like slowly poisoning them, and so they're like losing their hair and bald and crying red eyes, but like, where's the destruction? If they would have, I remember, that's Resident Evil 2, the movie, right? When there's like a bunch of people at the police station, and Jill just walks in and just starts shooting everyone. Not ideal, but it just shows the, like, it builds the world that they're making. And in this one, there's no world. They didn't build anything. They just said like, yes, Raccoon City. Everyone's left who could leave, and the poor are here. But then they don't show anyone. The only people that we see are the cafe lady, the scientist, and his wife, which in the game, they're both scientists. So why did they change it and just kept him as a scientist, and why not her? And I remember when I was watching it, because it shows Carrie looking at a portrait of the scientist dude, which I don't even remember what his name is, and then it shows Sherry waking up having a nightmare of seeing a monster, and I was like, oh wait, are we having a flashback? Did he adopt Carrie? Chris and, oh my god, I forgot her name. Claire. I almost said Chloe. Claire and he changed it to Sherry, and then no, that was happening real time. And I was like, oh. And then for some reason he almost runs over Claire, but Claire's sitting in the middle of the road. How did she know he was arriving? And then a truck just passes right by Claire, and she doesn't even move or like jump or anything. And then even the cover lab looks ridiculous. What? This movie needed more budget. Either needed more budget, or they just, I don't know where they spent the budget, because it wasn't in the clothes, wasn't in, like special effects. Maybe it was a CGI. I feel like they would, if they would have reduced it, okay, like, yeah, sure, show the outside, but if they would have just kept it like at the police station and put the budget there and have people and the outbreak, and then like underground, like, and then sure, okay, like the orphanage, and have it with the orphanage and the like, just, but I don't know where the budget was. I don't know how much budget it was, but it wasn't enough. And then at the ending where it shows them walking out, and it just felt so like. And then Sherry, again, they bring Sherry in. And I remember in the game, you care about Sherry because Claire finds her and hangs out with her and takes care of her. And, Sherry shares about her mom and being like, her mom's busy. And you're like, oh, Sherry. And this one, you see her one scene. The second scene is with her and Whiskers, whatever. And he shoots. It's funny because the scientist dude, he shoots him in the chest twice. And then with the mom, who is clearly a civilian, headshot immediately. And then the kid for some reason comes out and is gonna shoot him, and he points the gun at her, and then he gets shot by Jill, and then he's like, oh, kid, I wasn't gonna shoot you. I don't believe you. And then he's like apologizing to Jill. What is this character? Either he's, and I'm not saying like good and evil, because you can have like you can have bad characters of like evil with redeemable quality, like, not like, you don't make them a stereotype like villain, but like if it felt so flip-floppy, so wishy-washy, like you shoot someone in the head who's a civilian, you were going to abandon your friends, and now you're like, I'm sorry, man. If he would have just talked to Jill and ignored the other dude and the kid, I would have been like, okay, yeah, this sounds more, that goes with his character that they've placed, that the only reason he cares about Jill is because he feels like an emotional connection to her, but he doesn't care about anyone else. They should have made a scene where he's telling Jill, like, come with me, like, we can split the money, or like, I can help you or save you, and then, that would have been just showed more of who he was, like his priorities, or what's important to him, or what's relevant to him, not the rest. But no, they didn't do that. And then Jill, I don't really have complaints. Jill, I liked her character. I liked that she was like, also her guns. Again, she didn't really have an iconic outfit. I don't know if, well, I guess in the game it's like shorts. I mean a skirt. I feel like they could have just been like a blue shirt and like pants, kind of like done like the color theme of the outfit. But yeah, it was just, I see why the fans were disappointed, and it sucks because I really would love Resident Evil movies. I hope they take like an actual like the games that they've remade, they just take one of the games and put it into movie format, obviously adding more things or taking more things or whatever, but keeping the essence of the characters and the plot. But this just felt all over the place. Like, I was at the beginning, I was like, oh, it literally, when it shows like the hamburger with the trucker, I was like, oh, it's just, are they copying the game? But then I was like, wait, but Claire's in the truck. And then Claire's just, I was disappointed. I am. And it sucks because I kind of want to keep seeing these characters, but at the same time it's like, but these characters, like Claire wasn't acting as Claire, Leon wasn't acting as Leon. I can't really say if Chris was acting as Chris. Again, why did they take away the whole like scientist? Like, why isn't the mom a scientist? Why, like again, the part that I was interested was the beginning when it showed the lady with like face on top of her own face. I was like, who is this? How is she just walking into the orphanage? How is no one seeing her? How is she? And she's still there as an adult. And it wasn't explained. And also wasn't explained how the liquor was there. And also, like, what what's like what so potential was there. I could see the potential from far away. It was planted, but it wasn't watered or anything. It was just placed on the dirt. If they had also the scene with the twins or whatever, I was like, what is this? I have no idea what's going on. Again, either you're gonna concentrate on like the now or the past, but don't mess like it just if you're gonna bring the past and the present, you need a longer runtime or like space everything out. I feel like if they just had done changes, obviously changed Leon's character, but like made Claire in and I remember in the games, I keep saying movies, in the games she's so like bubbly and like so fun and like very, you know, hard-headed as well, and like very well, badass, but she's not like this Claire in the movie. And I feel like if they would have just made her like, I don't know, a reporter or something, just changes, small changes in the characters and the ambiance, because this movie felt like it was in a movie scene. Like the scene where all the zombies like break in to the police station just was like underwhelming, because there was like four people. Four people. I feel like if they would have, again, I don't know this budget. I don't know where the budget went, because it wasn't to the clothes, because the clothes did not look that great. It wasn't to the zombies, because the zombies looked. It wasn't towards the lighting, because the lighting sometimes looked like I have so much to criticize about this movie. I feel like if they would have, okay, yeah, shown the whole entire town, but make it so you could see people, you know, and have, if you don't want to invest too much, have like short sequences of like zombies attacking other people, a lot of fire, and then focus on like the police station and the orphanage, and like have the police station with actual people and more cops, so there's more zombies. Like it just but it doesn't feel scary, because there's like four people in the town. It just felt isolated and inconsequential. Like the scene where the scientist turns into whatever he turns into because his wife, you know, injects him, was the most ridiculous thing of my life. He's supposed to be like this genetically like a monster, super strong, and he doesn't even kill Chris. He just flings him around for some reason, and then he gets taken out like, oh my god, a bug. Dude, I could see its freaking eyeballs and its antennas. Ugh. Anyways, it was just ridiculous. It felt inconsequential, felt small, felt like it wasn't impacting anyone. And then the ending, I don't know why they didn't do an explosion or like seeing like a missile. It was just an implosion. So many decisions, creative decisions that should not have been done. So yeah, this movie gets I don't know why I'm ranking movies. This movie, I've never ranked movies before. Personally, I don't think you should watch this. Granted, I just spoiled everything about it. But yeah, it's 0 out of 10. No repeat. And not even the cast could save this movie for me, which says a lot, because for me, a cast, especially if it's characters that I really enjoy watching, I will, like, it gives a lot of leeway, but this one was just ridiculous. Especially the last scene with the monster and Sherry being just there, even though we don't know who Sherry is and it doesn't really matter. Like, the thing is, some directors or writers or whatever think that just because you put a kid in there, I'm going to automatically care about the kid. If this was real life, yes, but it's a movie and it's just a person. It's just like it's like if you put like a carton right there. If it's not like, it doesn't have any values, doesn't have anything, it's nothing. So like, the character has to be something, and Sherry was just like a little kid. They didn't give her anything, and I'm like, she works in the video games because, again, she, interacts with Claire, she interacts with her mom, she's an actual character person. This one, she's just there. So yeah, disappointed, but I guess I probably should have seen that coming, since a lot of people were disappointed with the movie and were saying that it was bad, and I was like, oh no, I'm still gonna watch it. It's bad. So actually, if you're watching this, give me your opinion. Did you also think it sucked? Well, what's with, also, let's complain about Leon. Like, what was that? What was that about? Anyways, bye.